In the quiet chambers of the psyche, there is an ancient movement, an inward turning where shadows gather not to frighten us, but to speak. Tonight, as we enter this meditation, let us walk willingly into that dusk within, where the forgotten, the suppressed, and the unarticulated aspects of our being wait with patient intensity. We do not banish them. We do not resist. Instead, we acknowledge their presence as necessary companions on the journey toward illumination. Close the eyes gently and breathe with deliberate awareness. Feel each breath as a descent, a slow staircase into the inner world. The darkness you encounter is not emptiness but potential, a vast field of images and impulses that shape the contours of who you are. Do not seek to change anything, simply observe. Allow what rises to take form: a memory, a symbol, a sensation. Let it emerge without judgment. There, in the depths, you may find something that unsettles you, an emotion long unexpressed, a desire unclaimed, a memory unopened like a sealed letter. Do not look away. Approach with the curiosity of a traveler discovering a forgotten room in a familiar home. This darkness is not the enemy of light, it is its cradle. Only by entering it can the light find its true brightness. Now breathe again, and with each inhalation, invite a gentle glow into your awareness. It begins at the center of the chest, a quiet ember that warms but does not burn. Notice how it grows, not by force but by acceptance. As the glow expands, it touches each inner figure, each shadow, not to erase but to reveal. What was hidden becomes known. What was feared becomes integrated. In this meeting of warm radiance and deep shadow, you feel the stirring of a more whole self. Let the inner light travel upward through the body, illuminating the corridors of thought, the neglected corners of emotion, the quiet chambers where intuition sleeps. Let it move downward to the roots of your being, to the instincts, the primal rhythm that anchors you to life. Light does not destroy the dark. It dances with it, shaping it, giving form and meaning. Picture now a threshold before you, one you have approached many times without fully crossing. Tonight you step forward with calm certainty. Beyond it lies a landscape clearer, more spacious, where your inner and outer worlds begin to speak in harmony. This clarity is not given from outside. It is born from the union you have cultivated within. With the next breath, allow yourself to rise slowly from this interior realm, carrying with you the recognition that both dark and light are essential notes of the same inner symphony. When you open your eyes, you do not leave the experience behind. You bring its quiet understanding with you, an inner companion that guides, softens, and strengthens your path ahead. As the stillness around you deepens, let the breath become the thread that connects every layer of your awareness. There is no urgency here, no demand from the world beyond this moment. You are entering a terrain that stretches beneath the surface of daily consciousness, a place where symbols speak louder than words and intuition flows like a quiet underground river. Allow yourself to follow its course. It carries you gently, insistently, toward the regions of your being that crave recognition. Let the darkness around you take on the quality of a warm cocoon. This is not the darkness of fear or confusion, but the darkness of fertile soil, where seeds rest before they push upward into the world. Imagine yourself sinking just a little deeper into this nurturing depth. You are not descending into emptiness. You are returning to the origin of your own inner life, where the earliest patterns of meaning were formed. Here in this dim, expansive chamber of the psyche, your experiences, dreams, and unspoken truths lie curled like ancient scrolls awaiting rediscovery. Feel the body soften as you breathe. Every exhalation releases some tension. You did not realize you carried the armor of habit, the stiffness of unexamined thoughts, the weariness collected from days spent navigating other people's expectations. Each release brings you closer to your own essence. In this darkness, there is no need to perform, to please, to protect. There is only the quiet invitation to be. Now let your awareness drift to an inner horizon. Somewhere in this vast interior space, a small flame begins to flicker. It is subtle at first, like the first glimmer of dawn through a half-closed window. Watch it without trying to control it. It is not here to blind or overwhelm. It is here to reveal. Notice how the flame casts gentle light across the surrounding shadows. Shapes begin to emerge, impressions, memories, emotions that have long lived within you without being fully seen. A figure may appear, ambiguous, shifting, formed partly from memory and partly from imagination. Whether it takes the form of a person, an animal, or a symbol, let it reveal itself in its own way. Do not analyze it. Simply observe its presence. The psyche often communicates in images that cannot be deciphered by logic alone, but must be felt, sensed, experienced. Allow this figure to stand before you, not as an intruder, but as a messenger from the deeper layers of mind. If you feel resistance, acknowledge it without pushing it away. Resistance is a natural guardian of the psyche. It protects what feels vulnerable. Yet even resistance softens in the presence of patient attention. Tell it silently that you are willing to listen, that you are not here to judge or to force anything into the light. You are simply witnessing. The figure now begins to shift, dissolving and reforming as though shaped by an unseen hand. Let it guide your attention to whatever needs to be seen. Perhaps a memory rises, one you have not touched in years. Perhaps an emotion you rarely allow yourself to feel comes forward, hesitant but sincere. Perhaps you sense a longing that has echoed softly within you for as long as you can remember. Greet these revelations with steady breath. They are not here to harm you. They are here to be acknowledged, to be given form so they can integrate gently into your unfolding awareness. As the inner flame grows brighter, the surrounding darkness does not disappear. Instead, it becomes textured, meaningful, like the night sky illuminated by constellations. What once felt obscure now feels like a realm rich with guidance and potential. Light and darkness are no longer adversaries. They are collaborators in your inner evolution. Let this light now expand within your chest. It radiates outward with warmth and intelligence, illuminating the pathways of your inner world. You may feel it touching your thoughts, softening the sharp edges of worry and self-doubt. You may feel it settling into old emotional wounds, not to erase them, but to soothe them with the understanding that they are part of the story that shaped you. You may feel it reaching the depths of instinct and desire, acknowledging the raw energy that fuels your creativity and your aliveness. Notice how the light moves not with force, but with gentle inevitability. It knows where to go. Trust its direction. As it travels through the body, it brings clarity to places that were once dim and forgotten. It reveals connections between aspects of yourself that you once believed were separate: strength and vulnerability, reason and intuition, discipline and longing. Each contrast becomes a complementary pair, contributing to the fullness of who you are. You may sense an inner landscape forming, a symbolic world unique to your own psyche. Perhaps you find yourself in a forest where ancient trees stretch upward like guardians of wisdom. Perhaps you see a vast plain, open and silent, where every breeze carries the memory of forgotten dreams. Perhaps you stand before a mountain, its peak hidden in mist, inviting you to climb when you feel ready. Whatever landscape arises, let it unfold naturally. It is the mind's way of revealing truths that cannot be spoken directly. Walk through this landscape with an attitude of reverence. Everything you encounter is an expression of your inner life. The rocks, the trees, the sky above, all are mirrors of your psychological terrain. When a path appears before you, follow it. When a symbol emerges, an animal, an object, a structure, pause and sense what it evokes in you. Meaning does not need to be intellectual. It can be felt as a subtle shift in the body, a whisper of intuition, a sense of recognition. You may come upon another figure in this landscape. This one may appear more familiar, a younger version of yourself or an older one. Perhaps it is someone you once knew, someone who influenced you deeply. Or perhaps it is a figure that embodies an aspect of your personality you have kept hidden, the courageous one, the playful one, the wise one, the wounded one. Approach the figure without fear. Allow it to communicate in whatever way feels natural. You may exchange words or simply a glance. You may feel emotions rise unexpectedly. Let them move through you without resistance. They are part of the healing that arises when light meets shadow. As the inner light continues to expand, you may notice that the landscape becomes clearer, more defined. Colors emerge where there were only silhouettes. Details sharpen. What once felt like an indistinct dream begins to feel tangible, as though you could reach out and touch it. This clarity signifies the integration taking place within you. The inner world becomes coherent when its elements are seen, accepted, and named by your awareness. Allow a moment to stand in this clarity. Feel the solidity of the ground beneath you, the air moving gently around you, the quiet aliveness of everything in your inner field of vision. This world is not separate from you. It is an expression of your inner truth, taking form for you to witness. The more you honor it, the more fluidly it communicates with your waking life. The light within your chest now extends outward in every direction, forming a luminous sphere around you. It pulses gently like a living heartbeat. Within this sphere, you feel both protected and expansive. You are open yet grounded. You are vulnerable yet strong. The opposites within you are no longer at war. They recognize each other, acknowledge each other, and begin to braid themselves into a cohesive whole. If you notice any remaining pockets of darkness, small regions of tension, fear, or uncertainty, do not try to force them into the light. Simply invite the light to sit beside them, to warm them with its presence. Darkness yields naturally when it is met with patient attention, not when it is pushed. Let this gentle coexistence be your guide. The sphere of light now moves upward, passing through the throat, clearing unspoken truths, loosening words that have long rested on the tongue without expression. It continues upward through the mind, illuminating old beliefs, softening rigid patterns of thought. You may feel space opening within the mind, a spaciousness that makes room for insight. This is not the insight forced by rational analysis, but the insight that rises naturally when light touches the deepest layers of understanding. Continue breathing as this illumination spreads. Allow it to move downward as well, into the abdomen, the hips, the legs, anchoring you into the foundation of your existence. You are both rooted and rising. You are both the seeker and the guide within yourself. As the light integrates through your entire being, a profound sense of unity emerges. You may feel as though you are standing at the center of your own inner universe, where all parts of you, past, present, and potential, converge. There is no conflict here, only the quiet certainty that you are whole, even when you do not feel whole. You are meaningful, even when you doubt your significance. You are connected to something vast and ancient, even when you feel alone. In this state of expanded awareness, listen closely. There is a whisper beneath the layers of thought, a voice that does not speak in language but in knowing. It may offer a sense of direction, a feeling of purpose, a hint of what your next step in life might be. It may not be specific. It may be a simple reassurance that you are precisely where you need to be in your inner journey. Accept this whisper with gratitude. It is the voice of your deeper self emerging from the union of darkness and light. Allow this awareness to settle gently into the body like soft rain nourishing the earth. With each breath, feel yourself returning slowly, carrying this inner clarity with you. You are not leaving the darkness behind, nor are you clinging to the light. You carry both within you, balanced, integrated, alive. Stay with the breath. Stay with the warmth. Stay with the quiet transformation that has taken place. Let the breath continue its gentle rhythm, a tide washing softly against the inner shores. As you remain in this space where illumination and shadow coexist without conflict, notice the subtle transformations happening beneath the surface of your awareness. They are not loud or abrupt. They unfold like the slow opening of a flower at dawn, petals loosening in silence, guided by an intelligence older than thought. This intelligence resides within you. It always has. What changes now is your willingness to listen to it, to trust its quiet suggestions as they rise from the depths. The inner landscape that surrounds you may shift again, revealing new contours and pathways. Perhaps a soft wind begins to move through it, carrying with it the sense of memory and possibility. You may sense the presence of something vast, an undercurrent of meaning that threads through every experience you've ever had, from the most painful to the most joyful. Let this undercurrent draw you closer. It asks nothing of you except your attention, your willingness to be present without interference. As you walk through this inner terrain, you may find yourself drawn toward a secluded area, a clearing, a valley, a hidden cove where the atmosphere feels different. The moment you enter this area, you sense a profound stillness, as though the very air holds its breath in recognition of your arrival. This is a place within you that is rarely visited, a sanctuary where the deepest truths of your psyche rest undisturbed. Approach it with reverence. You are entering a domain where the boundaries between conscious and unconscious become thin, where insights arise not from effort but from surrender. In the center of this sanctuary, you may notice a pool of still water. Its surface reflects nothing at first, as if waiting for your presence to awaken it. Slowly, as you draw nearer, images begin to ripple across it. Glimpses of forgotten moments, fragments of childhood dreams, flashes of emotion that once felt overwhelming or out of reach. These reflections are not random. They are woven from the threads of your inner story, rising now, because the light within you has made the darkness safe enough to explore. Kneel beside the pool if you feel cold too. Look into its depths. Do not search for anything specific. Simply witness what appears. The mind may attempt to interpret, categorize, or explain these images, but invite it gently to rest. This experience is not meant for analysis. It is meant for contact, for communion with the parts of you that speak in symbol and sensation rather than words. As the water settles, one image may remain more clearly than the others, an image that seems to call you by name. Allow it to hold your gaze. Perhaps it takes the form of an event you have never fully understood, or a longing you have carried without knowing how to express it. Perhaps it reveals a pattern in your life that has repeated itself, seeking resolution. Or perhaps it shows you a strength you have long overlooked, hidden beneath layers of doubt or habit. Trust whatever emerges. The psyche does not reveal what you are not ready to see. When you feel you have received what this pool wishes to show you, let the image fade naturally, dissolving back into the depths. Stand slowly and feel how the space around you seems to shift in response to your inner movement. The sanctuary within you is alive, responsive, attuned to your growth. Every insight, every moment of recognition alters its landscape, bringing you into greater harmony with your own unfolding. Now begin walking again, following a path that seems to form beneath your feet with each step. The ground feels firm and supportive. You are not uncertain here. You are guided by the deep intelligence that resides at the core of your being. As you move, notice that the light within your chest becomes brighter, radiating outward until it illuminates more of the landscape than before. Shadows recede not because they are dismissed, but because they are understood. They have revealed their message, and in that revelation, they lose their heaviness. You come upon a structure now, perhaps a small house, a temple, a tower, or something entirely unfamiliar yet intuitively sacred. Whatever shape it takes, recognize it as a symbol of the self you are becoming, formed from the integration of what you have seen and accepted. Approach it slowly, feeling the resonance between your inner light and the structure's presence. The door, if there is one, opens easily, as though it has been waiting for you. Step inside. The interior is illuminated by a warm, steady glow that seems to come from everywhere at once. It does not cast harsh shadows, it reveals gently. Within this space, you may notice objects arranged with an intentionality that speaks directly to your inner life. Perhaps you see books that symbolize knowledge you have gained, or candles that represent moments of clarity. Perhaps there are tools that speak of your abilities, talents you have neglected, or gifts you have only begun to develop. Each object carries meaning, not imposed from outside, but arising from within your own psyche. Walk slowly through this place. Touch what feels meaningful. Observe what stirs something in you. The air here is charged with the quiet certainty of self-recognition. You are standing within a structure built from the threads of your experiences, your dreams, your fears, and your aspirations. Nothing here is accidental. Everything reflects the truth of who you are beyond the masks worn in daily life. In the center of this space, you may find a seat, simple, sturdy, inviting. Sit upon it and allow your body to relax fully. As you settle in, notice how the light within you grows even brighter, merging with the light of the space. There is no separation now between your inner illumination and the illumination surrounding you. You are immersed in a field of awareness that holds every part of your being without judgment. Breathe deeply, allowing the light to rise and fall with each inhalation and exhalation. With every breath, you feel layers of tension, confusion, and fragmentation dissolve. What remains is a sense of unity, a quiet coherence that cannot be forced or fabricated. It emerges naturally when the inner world is seen and honored. Stay in this state for as long as you need, letting the breath and the light weave themselves through every corner of your awareness. If thoughts arise, let them drift through like passing clouds. If emotions surface, allow them to flow without resistance. The light holds them all, transforming them not by erasure, but by inclusion. After a time, perhaps a few moments, perhaps longer, you sense a subtle shift, as though something within you has clicked into place. It is not dramatic. It may be felt only as a gentle certainty, a quiet readiness. This is the sign that the integration has settled, that you are ready to move forward in your inner journey. Stand from the seat and walk once more toward the door. When you step outside, you notice that the landscape has changed again. It is brighter, more vivid. Paths that were once obscured now appear clearly marked. Symbols that previously felt mysterious now carry a sense of familiarity. The wind moves differently, carrying with it a whisper of renewal. Even the shadows feel softer, stripped of the weight they once held. Begin walking back through this illuminated landscape, retracing your steps not as a retreat, but as a return. Each step takes you closer to waking awareness, yet you bring with you all that you have gathered: insights, integrations, recognitions that cannot be undone. You feel yourself growing lighter, yet more grounded. The inner flame burns steadily, no longer flickering uncertainly in the darkness. It has become a constant companion, a guide you can return to whenever the world outside feels overwhelming or unclear. As you move closer to the threshold between the inner realm and waking consciousness, breathe with intention. With each inhalation, gather the clarity, strength, and softness you have cultivated. With each exhalation, release any residual fear, hesitation, or tension. Allow yourself to feel the gentle merging of inner and outer worlds like two currents flowing into the same river. You arrive now at the boundary, the subtle veil that separates the symbolic landscape from the physical world. Pause here for a moment. Feel the fullness of your being. Feel the presence of both the light you have nurtured and the darkness you have embraced. Feel the quiet power that arises from this union, the power of a self that is no longer fragmented, but whole, attuned, alive. Allow the breath to guide you gently across the threshold. There is no rush, there is only an unfolding. The inner flame remains steady as you step into the waking world, not as something you leave behind, but as something you carry within you. The clarity, the balance, the quiet understanding, all of it remains accessible, woven into the fibers of your consciousness. Stay with the breath. Stay with the warmth. Stay with the quiet transformation that has taken root deep within your being, radiating outward through every step you take, every thought you think, every moment you live. And so, as we rise from this journey inward, we carry with us a truth that cannot be dim amid the darkness. Within us was never a prison, but a passage, never an obstacle, but an invitation. The light we sought was not waiting somewhere outside our reach. It was growing quietly within us all along, asking only for our courage to see it. When we face our shadows with honesty, we do not become smaller, we become whole. And when we allow that inner light to guide us, even the heaviest paths reveal their purpose. May you walk forward knowing that every fragment of your being, every doubt, every dream, every hidden corner belongs to the same radiant self. Let the light you have uncovered illuminate not only your way, but the way for others who still search in the dark